Check, check. I'm working on getting us started. Appreciate you. I just want to go ahead and call out Bevy Joe, Fazoro, and Zinkcat for the follow. I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate you, Ferg, for, I'm assuming, sending them over. Thank you, sir. Alright, we'll go ahead and roll into it. How's it going, everybody? And I just got done watching Ferg for a little bit. Ooh, that's loud, huh? Let's turn that down. I'll try to keep this music going for a little bit tonight. Yeah, you know, provide feedback. If it's not working, it's not working. It's whatever. And also, let's change it, right? It's a little wild. This is like a little wild for what we're doing tonight. How's everyone doing? Good night. Well, everyone. I'm the only person here, so so it would seem. Turn that up a little bit. Levels look good. I'm gonna go ahead and just start coding. We got. I don't even know where we're at right now. So let's get this thing up and running before we make any assumptions. It's been a long time since I looked at this project. Okay. Let's look. We need to get this inside of a flex container. The whole thing, yeah. So that it's responsive. But okay. Does this do anything right now? No. Is it doing anything in the console? No. Push to page not defined. Okay. Cool. So we have some work to do. Let's just start coding. Let's look here at our JavaScript. We know we have to push stuff to the page right now, so it looks like, oh, okay, is that what's going on? Let's see. What if we just console log the monster here? I just want to know that it's returning something usable, you know? I got a new keyboard today. It's not something that I'm super excited about. It's kind of an old person keyboard. It's it's a like an ergonomic kind of wave keyboard. And it's taking me some time to get used to. And I think it's just because, you know, it's basically because I have bad typing habits. That's the only reason that that it's taking me a minute. So that's fine, you know. Let's go back. See what this is doing now. Pokemon level. Yeah, okay. So it's returning something. And now it's returning even better stuff. Okay. Great. Cool. I'm happy with that right now. I think we're doing some things wrong in our API, but I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. Let's see. Oh, and that's what's wrong. The push to cell. It's not push to page anymore. It's push to cell. That's the function. And then we can push the monster to the cell. Does it work that way? Let's find out. Level's good, level's bad. There's nobody with me right now, so I am just coding alone. It's fine. Cool. It does work. That works. Cool, cool. That's beautiful. Awesome sauce. So now we have to what? All right, so what are we doing now? Now we're actually going to figure out like what cell we're gonna push to. And so I'm kind of wondering how I should do this. Maybe take the object and the and the slot, right? I kind of dig that idea. Like, watch, we could. I think that'd work, right? We generate the monster from the response name, and then at that point we would. I'm gonna say let slot. So I'm gonna grab the slot number out here, equal document dot get element by ID. And it would be it would be what? ID slot select, and then we'd look at the value by ID slot select, and then we'll look at the value of slot select. I think that should work. We'll console log it, right? Just to see if it's working, to see if it's there. I think it is. And then we'll see. Still doing that, that's fine. Cool. It is console logging the slot, which is what we want. So what we'll do now is we'll say so now we'll feed that slot number in into the method. Okay. We'll watch. We'll push to cell. Push to cell is going to accept both a Pokemon object and a slot number. I'm actually going to call it a cell number. Okay. And then what? And then this is where stuff starts to get a little bit interesting, because we're going to start creating this stuff dynamically rather than yeah, I think this is good. This is good. I think we're heading the right direction. I'm kind of just gonna free code it a little bit. I have the idea of what I'd like to do, but I'm not sure on the execution. So we'll take it like we usually do, one step at a time. The camera's a little poor today, isn't it? As far as the angle, that's fine. Y'all don't need to see my ugly mug to know how to code. It's fine. Let's see. Page down. I want to get rid of this because I know that it's working. That's fine. I don't need that anymore. I'll push that to cell, and I'm also going to feed the slot number in as well, because the slot number is going to then be used to match up to the cell number. So what? So now we're going to use that cell number. Document.get element by ID. Cell number. What am I doing? Okay, so now is the time that I'm gonna start talking. Okay, I'm gonna start talking my problem out a little bit. What is it that I want to do? I want to take that cell number and I want to get the cell. Let const cell equal fill cell. I'm going to call it the fill cell. Equal to document dot get element by ID. Actually, I think we have to do it that way. Cell number. Okay. Bam. So that's now the fill cell. Good. Let's console log fill cell to see what we get. I think what we'll get is we should optimally get a HTML object from this. And what I'm going to do to kind of verify that we're getting the HTML object is I'm going to put like a little this here. Alright. What was that? Why did that move? That's not cool. Hold on. I clipped my KVM wire. It would not be good for that to come unplugged right now. So anyway, so we're going to test that. I'm going to test that by doing this. Yeah, and so this should what? This should return. Yep, there it is. And see, it's going to be blue, which is fine because we're applying that style dynamically. And it's going to say test because we added that in. It's great. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. It's doing exactly what we want it to do. But now, I actually want to... I don't want this to be all muddied up like this right now. I'm going to break this out into another function. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to take the fill cell. We're going to... do I want to go this? Yeah, we should. Actually, whew. I think I'm going to change the value. Of these to just numbers, and I'm going to tell you why. So the reason I want to do that is because because it's easier to append these values to something, right, than it is to take. Ultimately, I'm making it more reusable. So I don't know. Thanks for hanging out. I don't know where you're viewing from, but whether you're on Twitter, Facebook, or Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, with Twitter is there too, but I have to get that updated. Anyway, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here on this Wednesday night. Let's get some stuff moving. Okay, so that's great. So now I'm going to make this more reusable by using these values. How, do you ask? Well, let's jump into here. So now we have this, which this cell number is actually, it's not going to return anything for us, right? Because all this is right now is it's just a number, right? So what is it? It's grabbing the slot number, and I don't know. It's still cell number. Yeah, that's fine. And so now it's a number. And now instead, I'm actually going to, we didn't even have to modify that much. So I'm going to keep that just like this. Because, watch. And just do this. Slot plus cell number. And now it's going to grab the correct fill cell based off of the cell number that we're passing in, and it's just going to look for the ID that's called slot plus whatever number we're getting. The reason that I did that was because now we can make additional we can make like a filler function. Well, this is the filler function. We'll keep it simple. We're going to now create each of these child elements for the cell dynamically as we fill it. So what I'll show you exactly what we'll do. So and then we'll give them all like cell their index numbers dynamically so that we keep track of where we're at. I think it'll work. Like I said, we'll go slow, and I'm going slow anyway because I'm tripping over this keyboard. Y'all want to see it? It's like an old people keyboard. It's got a wave. Nice little. My hands go straight onto it. My elbows are. It's nice though. Like my wrists aren't hurting on it. It's kind of cool. Anyway, let's move ahead. So that's fine. I'll keep that. We'll keep all of this code actually because it's doing something right now, but we don't want it to. We're not gonna keep it doing this. So actually, capitalize, create text node, document, create text node. Okay, we're just gonna create elements, right? Yep. Okay. Let's see if we can get one knocked out, and then we'll keep moving. So I'm gonna say const. We can't start with like cell, right? Because name cell. No, that's fine. It's fine. Const. And I actually will. It's gonna give us. It's gonna yell. It's gonna pitch a fit. It's gonna say, "Hey, you can't do that," but that's fine. Document. Dot. Create element. In this case, we'll what? We're going to create the sprite cell, which is the I kind of want to make like a breakout. Is there? I'm like, this is that. I don't know. I kind of want to make like a function that does this for us, but I guess this is that function too. So no big deal. All right. So create element. We're gonna create what? We're gonna create a figure element. Yeah. I'm actually going to copy this so that I have it for reference here, even though it's going to pitch a fit for it's going to like, what are you doing, dude? Putting all that HTML in there. Create element, it's going to be what? A figure. Great. Now, I'm going to pull up some docs because honestly on the create element function, I'm kind of lost on what to do next regarding, let's see, MDN. Gosh, that was bad. Okay. I'm kind of lost on like what methods can I use to like everything, you know what I mean? Like I want to text above has been created dynamically. Give it a new tag high end. Okay, that's append it. Append, so you have to create the new content. Get element by ID, current div, at the newly created element and its context. How did they give it an ID? Okay. Into the DOM. So how did they give it an ID though, is what I want to know. Create a new div element, right? New div, hi and greetings. Const. current div. Um, interesting. I think so. What are they doing here? It looks like they grab the get element by ID div1. What is this insert before? I don't know what this insert before is. I want to check that out. This insert before deal. Document.body. I need to look at like, let's see. I dig this song a lot. It's one of my favorite songs. Running out of vacation. There we go. That's what I want to know. Inserts a node before a reference node as a child of a specified parent node. Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna do, like I said, do everything dynamically here. So, all right, let's toggle back. So we created the element. We want to give it some content. I wonder if this is going to be easier for us to just go with the image for right now. Let's just try this. Create element image. Okay. And then what? Then give it some content. Well, how did we do that before? We said sprite cell dot source equal to, so this, right? It's effectively all that we did. I'm just gonna copy it and put it up here. Isn't that what we did? Create text node. No, we have to what? That's not right. I wonder what is there a create text node, create node? Is there just create node? Let's see what we have here. Create element. What can create element do? Create node iterator. See, I don't know what any of these do. So we need to figure this part out. What's create element? What's the extent of create element? What can it do? Creates the HTML element specified by tag name. Okay, that's fine. Is this text node, I wonder, pen child, new content, is this something that I can, let's look. Create text node. I just don't know the extent of that either, you know? But that seems like it'd be very limited. I don't want to go to W3 Fools. Alright. Oh, yeah. So it does. It takes in data. Oh, that's cool. Is it just text? Looks like. Oh, bother. Excuse me. One of those days. What are we doing? So we've created the element. There's got to be an easier way for this right now. Because I'm lost a little bit. Time to reassess. What do we need to do? What are we doing? I am taking the cell number. Now what? Now I want to dynamically create spots for each of these things to go into. Because I don't want to have to, I don't want to have to do this each stinking time. We need to and these are like divs, Is it still doing the same thing over here? Yeah. I don't think those need to be articles. That's not truly what they are, so. Okay. See, I want to do that and like create each of them dynamically, you know what I mean? Blah. Blah. Like my good old sound effects. So all of this needs to get created. When we land in this, we're just gonna delete this. Because I don't want it right now. All of this needs to get created dynamically when we when we go into it. So let's see, figure out how we can do that first. What if we made like a create slot function? Like create skeleton. Once this gets pushed to the cell, right? Maybe we get rid of that. Once we get to the cell, right? Or once we get to the push to cell function. I'm going to go ahead and do this so that, there we go. Once we arrive on this function, what does it do? It's going to look at the cell number and it's going to say, okay, we need to create a skeleton for that cell. So maybe we create a function up here, function. Create cell skeleton. All right. What are we going to feed in? We're going to feed in the cell number. And then with that cell number, we're going to we're going to first get the div. We need to find the div, right, that we're going to const. The fill cell is what we'll call it. Document dot get element by ID, and then we'll take that slot plus the cell number. right? So now we have the fill cell. We've effectively grabbed a fill cell from the DOM, and that's what we have inside of this variable right now. That's what's filling that variable. Why did we use const and not let? Because within the scope of this function, like, that's not going to change, right? Yeah, it's not going to change. Like, we don't want to, not while we're within this function, do we want to change the value of this variable. The difference between const and let in JavaScript, I don't think we've talked about this. So const is like if you want to assign a variable and it's permanent within the scope of that function, so it stays the same, it's constant, right? Or you also have let, which basically allows you to change the value of the variable within the scope of the function. So that's the difference between const and let. All right, so we have the fill cell in this, or we have the cell that we want in this fill cell variable. Now we're going to create some elements, right? So we need to say const. I think, yeah, const is appropriate here. Let's go back to create element, excuse me. So I want to look deeper into this because this is intriguing me right here, these like options. All right, the following example is a snippet taken from our expanding list web component example. In this case, our custom HTML extends the HTML uList element, which represents the unordered list element. Okay, gotcha. Expanding list extends. Okay, that makes sense. Define the new element. What is it? It's a custom element. Oh, I see. Okay. It is called expanding list. Gotcha. Huh. Okay. Would its ID be then expanding? No, it's not. That's not the same. Alrighty, so now we'll go ahead and we'll start doing these. This will be the sprite cell. We'll do the same thing that we're doing down here effectively. So I'm just gonna copy it and paste it up here. Oops. Excuse me, y'all. Well, no, it's gone forever. No. There we go. Is that fine? That's fine. We're getting used to this new keyboard. There we go. Alright. And then what? Then we append the child, right? We can append that child to that. That's how it works, right? So new div.append child would be the new content. Yeah. And actually what? We'll do that. Do we need to do that? I wonder. We're already on the right slot, right? Like, I think we can just do that. Alrighty. I'm going to say fill cell dot append child only because I don't know if that's right, but I'm going to hope it's correct. I think so. Like it's doing exactly what we'd expect it to do. Now let's see what fill cell looks like, I guess. Because I think that's right? Let's see if that is doing what we want it to do. Let's come up here. And actually, let's just call the function within here to see if it's doing anything for us. Excuse me. We'll just say. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's understandable. And there it is. Look, there's our, haha. There's our image element. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Look, it's selecting the right one. Perfect, perfect. Great. Let's figure out where that highlighting is coming in from because style. So this thing is also select. Oh, is that just within? Oh, it's just there or what? It's just fired off anytime anything happens. Okay, that's cool. Alrighty. Yeah, we don't need it. Great. So that's doing exactly what we want it to do. Like as far as it's creating some space for this thing. So actually I'm gonna go I was gonna go back, but because I just realized I fudged something, but that's okay. What? There's probably easier ways to do all of the things that I'm doing. I just don't care. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I actually am going to back up a little bit. So, sorry. Dang, it's a lot. Oh, shit. Shoot. This, as if y'all can see, this is what I'm shooting for here. Was that always there? No. Okay, that's where I destroyed it. I need this, please. Great. Get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, so what I'll do now is where did that function go? Okay. I just need this for reference because I don't know what's going on. I'm actually going to create element. We're going to create the element figure. And I'm going to call it sprite fig. I'm going to do the same thing here. Const. Pick. equal document dot create element, same thing. Const, the same thing, sprite. I'm just keeping the naming conventions easy. Dot create element, image element, same thing, const. I'm going to call this cap, sprite cap. Document dot create element fig caption great const move list equal document dot create element. We'll make an unordered list. Great. What now? They ask. Is this going to end up being a big function? I don't know. We might break this up, right? So we're creating the cell skeleton. That's effectively what this is doing now. It's actually doing exactly what we want it to do. Okay. If we were to go onto the page now, we would come here. Well, actually, let me go ahead and make sure that that did in fact save. We'd come to the page here, right? Say 5, search the dex. Oh, am I not doing anything? Oh, excuse me, y'all. Console log the fill cell. Why am I not create search monster, console push to cell, push to cell, push to cell does what? Console logs that. Push to cell should also do something else, right? Push to cell should also call create cell skeleton, and we'll pass in the cell number. Cool. Oh, that's actually not doing anything currently. It's if we did that, all we would get right now is what would we get? We'd get the fill cell, and that's all we'd return. So now we need to do what? We need to fill cell, append child. I kind of want to just be like, is there a way to do this easily? That we need, right? I'm getting a little bit more. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm thinking now, like, okay, what is kind of the what's the kind of the next goal, right? Is we want to push these elements to the fill cell. I don't feel like I want to do this in 5 lines of code. You know what I mean? Actually, I would much rather do a document dot. We need certain things, right? We need these 5 elements, right? We need these 5 elements. Okay. Well, then for each element, what? For each element, I want to. No, for each element, nothing. Is there a way I can just like take each of these? Actually, too. What? These aren't even... Because, okay, let's just do this. So, first of all, sprite fig dot append child. It's going to have the sprite pick. Let's see if this takes, first of all, multiple and the sprite cap. Does append child take multiple children? Hell yeah, it does. Cool. I like that. Great. I think we have to move from lesser to smaller though. So let's say the sprite pick dot append child, right? Because it needs its image, sprite image, right? Okay, cool. So that's all picked up. Great. So the fig is there, the image is there, and the caption is there. Great. That's all of that. And now we need this. Fill cell dot append child. And then we'll have the sprite fig. And what? And the move list. So, y'all, if everything went well, I think that's exactly what we need right there. If everything went well, we should be console logging our fill cell. Search Dex here, right? And of course, this is not responsive yet, and so that's my fault. Let me actually zoom out. That's probably going to be not on that. That'll be more. We have the right cell, right? It's got our figure the way that we want it. It's got the picture the way that we want it. It's got the image in there the way that we want it. Great. But it's not done yet, is it? So what? It doesn't do the unordered list. Let's see. I wonder if there's something up with the unordered list, why it's not. Or let's do this. Oh, let's check. Wait. I guess I'm going to look to see, like, did that append? You know what I mean? The slot 1, Pokemon level is 5, search the dex. I'm checking to see if the caption appended, because I don't think it did. Yeah, see, it didn't. So we have to do this individually, and that's fine. Watch sprite fig dot append child. Then we'll put the sprite the caption there. Hey, what's up, Ferg? Thanks for dropping in. Hey, thank you. Append child. Yeah, the move list. So I think that should work now. It looks like the append child function only accepts one parameter at a time, and that's okay. Let's check it out. So, all right, we'll search. We should get in here. Now we should have exactly what we want. Cool. So the picture with the image box, the caption underneath the picture eventually, and then this unordered list that's going to contain the Pokemon's moves. Great. So from there, we need to start giving these things like IDs and things like that. And I think that the way that they did that was they just const div1. No, how did they do that? So and its content, add the newly created element and its content to the DOM. So how do we now get, oh, it shouldn't be that hard. Let's see if we can get a good side-by-side on that. I'm going to see if we can't get a side-by-side on our code to our, oh, there is a better way, y'all. I forgot that I can do this. Dope. Cool. I'll turn the Explorer off so that we can see here. Turn the search off. I still don't like this slot. That's okay. We'll figure something out. I just think there's a better way to do it. But I'm not sure what that better way is yet. Maybe like I create an array with each of the elements that I need and then dynamically create the elements out of the array. I don't know if I want to do that yet. We'll figure it out though. And actually, what time is it? Cool. We got about half hour left. Good deal. So, body add element. So that's what we're doing. Adding the new div element. Okay. And now we need to figure out the content, right? Do we want to figure out the content here? I think we do want to figure out the content, and we might as well rename this to something different. You know, for the sake of this, we might actually just remove it altogether because it looks kind of like we might be able to do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where we get. Let's see. Oof. I don't know about this song, y'all. It's giving me I don't know. That was weird. It was like giving me nausea. Strange. Alright. So we'll now do this. Oh, we can't. We can't do that in here. So this is actually perfect. So we have our cell, we have our skeleton. Okay, so with the skeleton's been created. Right? Yeah. And now we can just take it out and say const cell equal document dot get element by ID. We're actually going to grab it again, slot plus, whoops, slot plus cell number. We're going to then take that cell. Nope, we're not going to take the cell. We have it. That's the important part. We have the cell that we need, and it should, at this point, have its skeleton. Perfect. Const cell content. Actually, we're going to create cell content. And we're going to do that with the Pokemon object. Y'all see what we're doing here? We are actually what? I think we can just watch. I think this works this way. Should be fine. It's assigning. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. You see what we're doing? We're breaking it into two separate functions that have two different responsibilities. One creates the cell skeleton. One creates the what's it called? The cell content. We'll feed in the Pokemon object. And then open up this function. We'll say const. We want to do a couple things. We need to take the Pokemon image. Interesting. I don't know if this is going to work the way that I want it to. I just realized. Wait, I have the fill cell. So I have to, I have to take the fill. Create text node. You append the node, the content to oh. All right, so we have the cell created, the cell skeleton created. We now want to create the cell content. We already have the cell content. The cell content is created. We don't need to create the cell content. We just need to now append this information into the cell. And we can do that. Because we have the Pokemon object. Cell dot const. Let's see. How about const? Let's just say the Pokemon name equal to Pokemon object dot name, right? Should work. That. Okay. Dot name. Perfect. Maybe even we'll do this, right? Document.create text node. Does that work better? My dog's out there barking, so excuse that background noise. If you can hear it, I don't know how good this is about background noise. So, let's see. Const create a new div. We already did that. All right. We're giving it Some content, okay. And then add that newly created. No, that's not. I think we are. I'm going about this incorrectly. So I'm going to back up. I think that. I think that. But I don't like that. No, this is fine. Like the create cell skeleton is great. Can I access? I can't, right? Like those are private to this method, right? Yeah, they're variables of that method. I'm running into some brain farts here. Come on, let's get something on the page. Push to cell. We have the Pokemon object. We have the cell number. We have this dog outside who's driving me nuts. Hold on, I'm gonna shut the window. It started barking louder and even more repetitively. That's great. Alrighty. Gosh, what are we doing? We have the push to cell function. We have a skeleton created. What if I say this? All right, and now we have that created, right? And we can say, what can we say? Const. Sprite cell equal to document dot. So it doesn't have an ID yet, though. So that doesn't work. Is there a way to dynamically create IDs? So that's what we need to know. How to, I'm just going to look how to dynamically create HTML elements with IDs in vanilla JavaScript. How do you do that? How do you do that? Codeburst.io knows. Stack Overflow has an answer if I feel like searching my life. In this example, we use the document interface to access the DOM tree. We can also use another powerful interface named document fragment. Where did it go? It's a lightweight version of document that prevents layout recalculation and improves the performance when dealing with large amounts of DOM manipulation. Oh, that's cool. Alrighty, cool. Awesome. So what? Oh, see, this is cool. Okay. Stepping in the right direction, right? But I still don't know anything about like adding a class. Give it some class, man. Do I need to add any classes? Yeah, I do. I honestly, though, I liked his solution better, and I think that our solution could be better based off of what I've read on his solution. We've taken a couple steps back this episode, but that's okay. I actually, this is this good site here, this codeburst.io. This gave me some ideas. I don't think we're going to be able to execute anything else tonight, but we'll see. Cell number, we've created the cell skeleton. That's great. Let's see. Actually, let me go ahead and bookmark that so that I can give it to y'all later. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to do that. Yeah, here we go. Ah, see, div.id, div.innerHTML, perfect. So that's all we need to do. Okay, so actually, this makes me feel even better. So let's go ahead and pull, as they say, let's pull it all together. Let me go ahead and duplicate this. I'm actually going to go back now on this page because I did actually really like the first example that we had here. This one on CodeBurst. I'll hand these out too. I'll share them on the Twitter feed. So I have Primeval Pokemon Trainer. I'm on Twitter. If you keep up with me on Twitch, my Twitter feed is on the Twitch, and I'll just do my best to keep up with updating links and things like that. So, all right. So let's scrap this. This is terrible. We can do better. We can do so much better than this. Yeah. Given what we learned here, I think. So see, we have div ID bookmarks, const bookmarks is an array. Create a new bookmark object, and you're gonna push all of these things to the bookmarks, right? To bookmarks, that's fine. How to access that element, okay, that's fine. And in the end, we want to achieve that. All right, so create an element, right? Okay, that's the child element. The child element gets appended to the parent element. Yep. So if everything works, we can either see URLs on the page or the debug tool to see if the elements are added properly. Watch, I'm going to do this. Const elements, These are the elements that we need. We need a figure. We need a picture. We need an image. We need a fig caption. And lastly, we need an unordered list. And actually, we do need a list item as well. I'm going to create it because I think that that's for the best. Yeah. All right, and now this is gonna be a little bit fancy. I don't know. How do we do the for loop? How did they do the for loop? I really liked it. Yeah. For let element of elements. And then create a let let cell That's not right. How do I, is there a way to, what am I trying to do? Let, for element of elements. I want to create all of these elements. I don't think I can. For each one in there. Create an element. Oh, create an element. Fill it up. Push it to the page. We don't even have to. Oh, crud. I think that this will work for each element of elements, right? For each element, we're going to create a child element. I'm going to declare const child element outside of here. Okay. And then I'm going to say in here, that's just declaring the element. It's basically giving this empty space to now say child element equals dot create element. What element? What kind of element? An element. Okay. And then I'm going to do something. I'm going to fill this child element. I'm actually going to create a function here that fills that child element. We're going to do it differently than we originally envisioned, but I think that what we'll do is we'll now create a method in here. It's getting cleaned up. We're going one step at a time. I know it's not the best. It's slow. It's slow going, but it's fun. I have fun with y'all. Thanks for being here. So what we'll do is we'll make a function in here that determines what kind of element was just created, right? And then with that information on what element was just created, it's going to take the Pokemon data and then push it into the element accordingly. So for instance, if it says, "Oh, is this a figure element here?" Um, which I guess I just realized we need to create all of these, right? We need to create all of them. They should they be const? Yeah. We need to create all of them and then sorry. Um create all of them and then okay, cool. That's already doing that. It's creating a bunch of child elements. Cool. So we need to create all of the elements and then afterward fill them up. We'll do the filling next time. My brain is like crapping right out on me right now. So I appreciate your all's time. We are at time right now. Thanks for hanging out in the Primeval Pokemon Den. Demons, keep it real. Blessings to you in Valhalla and Midgard. I don't know. We'll see y'all.